I have seen more of the world than most people twice my age. Hey guys, it's Larissa. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here, and if you are, thank you very much for joining us. This video is going to be my 10 reasons why studying abroad really changed my life. And this is not an exhaustive list, because if it were, it would be much longer. But these are just the first 10 things that came to mind when I was thinking about studying abroad, and all of the great things that it has done for me thus far in my life. I am not currently studying abroad, but that is what this channel was founded upon. Is when I started making videos on this channel, I was studying abroad in London, and so a lot of my videos are revolved around that, and that is what I get the most questions on. My highest commented videos are the videos from when I was abroad, and I get the most DMs I get on Instagram, like regarding my YouTube channel, are questions about studying abroad, and I absolutely love answering those questions for you guys. So I will put a tag, and I'll also put it in the end. I'll put it everywhere so you can watch my study abroad videos. And if you do have any questions, please DM me, comment. I absolutely, truly do love talking to you guys about all of it, because it just makes me, I love that. I feel like I have valuable information there to share, and so getting to share that with you personally one-on-one, it's very fulfilling for me. So if you have questions, please do not hesitate to ask. But speaking of studying abroad and that whole thing and all of your questions and whatnot, when School Apply reached out to me to do a sponsored video for you guys about studying abroad, and I researched the company, and I found that this is really a website and a company that I can get behind, that I really think will make studying abroad, the whole process, so much easier. And I wish I would have had this when I was looking to study abroad, because I really think they are so helpful. Just working with them up until now has been so easy. They are just amazing humans. And so when they wanted to do a sponsored video, I was honored, and that is what we are going to be doing today for you guys. So I'll tell you more about School Apply and my promo codes and all of that fun stuff later on in the video. But for now, let's go ahead and just dive right in to my top 10 ways that studying abroad changed my life. Number 1, I got to live in another country, and not a lot of people can say that. Some people say that 5 months isn't technically living in another place, but by doing that, like I created a routine in that 5 months. Like I had my own post office I would go to, I had the grocery store I would go to, like my favorite restaurants and everything. I created a life. I created friends and colleagues and this community in just a short amount of time. And by doing that, even though it was a short amount of time, it really opened up my eyes to actually living in another country long term in the future. Number 2, I have seen more of the world than most people twice my age. That is mind-boggling to me. I have been to more countries than either of my parents have combined. It is a beautiful world that we live in. And so I think that when you have the opportunity to go abroad, go see other countries, go experience how someone else lives, I 100% recommend it. Number 3, I made international connections. When I was studying abroad, I was doing an internship program, and at my internship, I made connections with my colleagues and with random people I would meet inside of the hotel that I was working at. And when I decided I was moving to LA, they were like, if you want to continue working at this hotel, we have hotels in Los Angeles. And just a lot of different connections there, and people that I can hold on to and put into my connections list of people to stay in contact with over the years, but also that I can use to my benefit when I am looking for jobs. Number 4, it gave me the courage to chase my dreams. And I know that sounds so corny, and that's why I said it that way, because I think it is very corny. But before spending this much time away from my parents, a bit about me, I'm an only child, and my parents are my best friends. And being this far away from them physically, like so far away, the time change and everything, it showed me that I can do it. I've always wanted to move to Los Angeles. I've always wanted to pursue a career in entertainment, and I was too scared to do it. Like I was too scared to go away to Los Angeles, which is where I live now. I was too scared to come here when I was in college because I wasn't ready to be that far away from my parents. But then I did it. I studied abroad, and I was so far away from them. By picking up my life and moving it all the way across the world, it taught me that I have the power and I have the drive to pick up my life and move it across the country, and I will be just fine. Number 5, on that same note, I learned to be on my own. One of the biggest, hardest parts about studying abroad for me was being very lonely. The girls and the people that I was studying abroad with that were in my program, that were going to my school, we had very opposite schedules very much of the time because we were also working and going to school, and our classes and our schedule was just all very off. Like, we very rarely had time that we were all off at the same time. And then also, even probably bigger than that, is my friends and family back home, it was an 8-hour time difference. So anytime that I was like up and ready and wanted to talk to them, they were either sleeping or they were getting ready or they were in class or in work or whatever. So I very rarely got to talk to the people that had been my lifeline for so long. So I really had to suck it up, buttercup, and do a lot on my own. Like, I did a lot of sightseeing by myself. I had to become very independent. Number 6, this one is a little bit lame, but the food, like, really though, the food is so freaking good. I'll be honest, not all food in London is like that great because London English food tends to be a little bit more bland, but because England is very much, I consider a stew, not so much of a melting pot, because everybody goes there, but they keep their own history and their own culture, which I think is one of my favorite parts of London. So trying food from like Greece or Italy or wherever, the food was usually made by local people from that place that had moved to London, and it was so good. Or you can just travel to those countries because it's very cheap to do so, and then you get to eat the food there, and it's just the food though. Number 7, speaking of culture, I was immersed in another culture. A lot of the classes that I was taking were culture based. So we would talk about my degree was in journalism. So we would talk about the news both in London and in England specifically, and then we would contrast it with what's going on in America. This was during the Brexit and when Trump was being elected, so there was a lot to talk about, but I got to learn what they thought of our politics and for my own opinions about their politics, learning from them, not just reading about it on the internet or seeing it on the news. I actually got to talk with them face to face and see how they were thinking and feeling about that whole process that was going down. But also I got to learn a lot about British history, which was so fun for me. American history was one of my favorite subjects in school, oddly enough. I think it was because my teacher was so dope. And the same thing here, my teacher was so great, and learning about like their history with their music and history with the royal family and just all of the history and how everything came to be. So that was one of my favorite parts about learning about the culture, was the classes I was taking and what I got to learn in them about British culture. Number 8, I learned who my real friends were. This one might just be a little bit more specific to me because I was graduating college as soon as I got back from my study abroad experience. I went abroad my very last semester, and I was already kind of in the mindset of like, who am I going to be friends with after college? Who's going to stick around? Who's going to fade away? For me, that was just very hard, and it was like very heavy on my heart because I love the people that are in my life and I don't want to see them go. And being abroad really kind of gave me a taste of what that was going to be like. And oddly enough, it showed me exactly who my friends were. Like, obviously there are the people that I knew once we graduate, once we move on with our lives, like obviously they are still gonna be there. But there were other people that I thought might just be like a college relationship that it's gonna like fizzle out later. But especially like I was saying about how I was being alone and how it was hard, like with the time difference, actually talking to people was very difficult. But even though I was thousands of miles away from my friends, a lot of my relationships actually got deeper while I was abroad because they started to mean more because we had to make more time for each other to work on our relationship. Number 9, it allowed me to put a pause from the spinning wheel of goals and aspirations and life plans and stress and graduating. It allowed me to pause all of that and live in the moment. All of those things are great. Goals are great. Aspirations are great. Dreams are great. But sometimes it is nice to just pause it and live for a second and just enjoy this crazy new place that you're in. And then lastly, number 10, the final thing on our list is every single day was an adventure. Ultimately, I was in a new country, I was in a new city, and then I was in a new country in a new city every single weekend because I traveled so much. I got to try so many new things all the time. I was seeing historic landmarks, I was trying local food, trying new drinks, trying new everything, and just experiencing so many things that I never would have gotten to experience if I didn't leave my backyard in small town Missouri. So now that I hopefully have you all gassed up and wanting to study abroad, I'm going to tell you about today's sponsor, School Apply. This website, this company, these people are freaking incredible. So basically what School Apply does is connect you with universities abroad for you to study abroad at, and makes it so much easier than it was when I was figuring out how to study abroad. On the website, there are over 4,000 universities to choose from, and I know that sounds kind of scary, but they help you to choose through them. Basically, you just get on there, it is absolutely free to make your account, and you go through your preferences. You pick what country you want to go to, what city, what degree you're looking to get, bachelor's, master's, doctorate, whatever. And through all of your preferences, they help you choose which one is right for you, whether it's the most bang for your buck, where you'll feel most comfortable, where the best program is for your specific field of study, etc. One of the worst parts about college in general or studying abroad is the application process. But luckily for you, School Apply helps out with that too. They seriously hold your hand throughout this entire process just to make it easier on you. You can apply to universities straight through their website. They have essay assistants to help you make sure, proofread over it, make sure it all looks nice before you submit it, one-on-one counseling throughout the entire process. What else is there? Visa application help, because to study abroad, you have to have a visa. There are just so many things that go into studying abroad, and School Apply is there for you to help you get through all of it. They also have an awesome scholarship that is available for you to apply to before October 1st of this year. It is the Emerging Entrepreneur Scholarship for people who are really entrepreneurial. They will reward you up to $30,000 toward your study abroad tuition. So that's super awesome too. I will leave a link for that down below if you would like to apply to that scholarship. And like I said, signing up for School Apply is absolutely free, but if you do want to get a little bit extra help from my friends over at School Apply, then it will cost you a little small fee. But I have a promo code for you to get you $50 off of that. So put that in when you are checking out and we'll get $50 off. But that is it, guys. That is all that I have for this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you are going to be studying abroad or have studied abroad before, I would love to talk to you about it. Go ahead and leave me a comment, send me a DM, tweet me, whichever. I would love to talk to you about it. I really would. I love talking about it. I love talking to you guys, so don't be hesitant to reach out. But that's all that I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe by hitting the red button down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. Number 10 to top it all. Number 10 to top it all off. Number 10 to top it all off. Every single number